Now you know what really happened is he knew how to push the plane down when he dropped that 100 feet.
Now I'm thinking the same shit.
You would have like, 3.5 minutes of drinks everywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just had a big sip of coconut rum and I've fallen over the steering wheel and pushed the plane down 100 feet. Sorry about that. Your movie everyone. Tonight will be Dangerous Liaisons.
Dystopia tonight. Dystopia tonight.
Hello, sir. What's going on?
I love that intro.
Oh, great. I'm excited. Whenever I get to bring on a Jersey dude who's also super talented, I just get excited as shit.
Oh, hey, hold on a second. Behind me.
Yes.
It's not a bag of weed. I just want to say this before the internet goes. These are screws. I just wanted to get this out of the way.
Right. I appreciate that.
It's a bag of screws.
Okay.
Yeah, different sizes of whatever you need. You know?
Right. Have you picked up a collection, a hobby over the pandemic? What is, because it's random. I'll give you that.
No, well, because I saw it on the little my monitor.
Yeah.
And I saw it and I said to myself, I said, as a person who doesn't do any kind of drugs, I said, I see that looks like a bag of weed, that I've seen my friends have.
Right.
And I said, I got all this stuff here that looks like,
God,
drugs, but it's not drugs. It's these are beautiful capacitors. These are Jupiter capacitors. This is a FNT made in Germany.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So I dabble, build a few amps.
Nice.
Sometimes nice. Yeah. So this is where I was working on some earlier this week. Helps a lot with my mental illness.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you focus on little tiny parts with soldering going in your face, and then all your problems can go away for like 45, 35 minutes.
Nice. 40. I like that you timed it. I feel like we all do that. Anybody that's got like a tick or a mental illness thing, we know exactly how much something that'll distract us will take.
Yep.
Like this is
long enough for a podcast or something.
Yeah.
45
before
minutes.
The breakdown happens. Yeah, exactly. That's what I do when I'm on stage. I'm doing stand-up. I'm like, I'm good for the next 50 minutes and then just tears. Whether the set goes well or not. I'm just immediately emotional afterward. They're like, it moves him to still perform. I'm like, no, I'm just broken.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the first time we've ever had a guest try that hard to prove that he doesn't do drugs.
Yeah, you don't get your money back, kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I worry about the internet, what they say these days. You could be having a nice podcast about the end of the world.
Yeah.
Dystopia.
Right.
You could have all your nights could be divine, but then one bag of weed.
Yeah.
One bag of capacitors.
One bag of weed screws and you're done.
Yeah.
One kid.
Weed screws.
Yeah. So that intro though was exciting. I saw a lot of flames.
Well, we knew you had like a mental thing as well too, so we wanted to get your anxiety up
fear.
Like the rest of it.
Yeah, fear.
Yeah, fear.
So,
yeah, totally.
Well, so you know how I've been going to sleep lately is looking at historic plane crashes. This is not a lie. This is
really?
My wife.
Really?
Says to me, yeah, my wife says to me, "What are you doing? Like, why are you looking at that stuff?" And I'd say, "I can't stop."
Yeah.
I say, "You mind your business. I can't stop." So I'm upset. This is not even a joke. So it came up in my, when you look in your Google and it recommends things for you.
Yeah.
Apparently, because it knows how peaceful I am, it recommended Air France flight 443 or whatever it was. And so apparently it's a plane that just dropped out of the air. In like 2008. This isn't like 1975. So it just like froze up and was like flying. And then that's what's doing. Yeah, that's what it's doing. And let me tell you how long it took for it to get from 35,000 feet to the ground. 3.5 minutes.
What?
That's how long you're just cruising like this.
Dude.
And check the sound out. That's it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Wow.
Not
That's a
one
long
survivor.
time.
That is
Sweet
holy
dreams,
shit, dude.
everybody.
Did they figure out what happened to it? Yeah, right.
Yeah, so they did. So they figured
okay.
out. So, well, it doesn't make it any better because what happened was there was like some turbulence, but then there was like a crosswind that caused frost on the engine. And apparently, I didn't know this, that planes are mostly flown automatically. That's so most of your flights are autopilot.
Right.
So there was like a lot of like computer things that should have like stopped this, but I guess the main pilot had gone to sleep and the other two pilots took over, but they didn't have experience being manual pilots. They only knew how to do auto. So this all happened in like 1 minute. And like the one guy pulled back, the other guy took over and was like, yo, you're doing it wrong, pulled forward. And then the screen stopped telling them how fast they were going or whatever. And so like he pulled the plane up or like this, and it should have been pulled down. And if it would have went down, the engines would have came back on and it would have been cool. And I guess it's like this thing about like drag and drift, which I don't understand. But and so basically it totally didn't need to happen. And they just went smash into the ocean. Nobody's okay.
Holy shit.
It's not cool.
No, man.
So
I already have trust issues with people in control of our lives, and now it's like are you a good flyer to begin with?
No,
me neither. Yeah.
I am. I was.
You were, yeah. Not anymore, buddy.
I was. Now I'm gonna be knocking on that pilot's door like, wake up!
Throwing peanuts at the door. I want to hear some noise in there.
Yeah. Some noise.
Yeah, guys, check in. Yeah, I knew they were flown automatically for a long time, and I always thought that was kind of cool until you just told me what you fucking told me.
Well, I didn't know that they were flown automatically. I found that slightly unnerving.
Yeah, I know it's weird. It's like, how much do you trust? But what unnerves me even more is that there's, for some reason, apparently only pilots that know how to fly automatically. Like, that fucks me up. You should still know how to fly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the guy the main pilot, I guess the main captain did know how to fly, and I'm not really sure. They just didn't have like any experience. They said this was Air France. They were going from Brazil to Paris, and it was in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. Right. So
Jesus Christ, that's usually when I fly too.
I haven't been able to I think I checked this out on Saturday.
Wow.
I'm not over it yet. But
no,
here's a great thing. So I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second.
No, go do it.
My story is better than yours.
Yeah. Keep it coming.
So, well, I mean, and on the upside of all this, I got to go do a tour again after 2 years of pandemic living. So anxiety kicks up a little. I call my doctor. I say, hey, I think it's time. I think I need to come in. See you. You know what I mean? Time to have an appointment. So you know what she says? I gave up my practice. I forgot to tell you. Wow. Oh, good. So if you're listening right now and you're a doctor who can write good scripts, you call me. Because I'm having a problem. We
had a great doctor on the show. He's an ADD dude, and he deals with neurodivergent behavior and shit like that. His name is Dr. Holloway. This guy is fucking phenomenal. And he called me out in like 30 seconds because I was like, oh, I've never been like fully tested for ADD. And he went, oh, you have it.
Yeah.
And he goes, after that intro I just saw, you got it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, all right, great. But yeah, he's really phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't know until I was going to a gig, that air pockets were a thing that planes just hit normally. I don't know if you ever heard of this either, but I'm going to up your anxiety if you hadn't. You could just be flying and then the plane will drop like 100 feet. Yeah. I had no idea. We were all in the air, and I don't sleep on planes. Fucking ever. I can't do it. Doesn't matter if I've stayed up 24 hours or whatever to try to zonk myself out. I just get whatever. But at this particular time, I was like, oh my God, I think it's going to happen. Like, I actually think I'm this exhausted. I swear to God, I start dozing. The plane goes and just drops. Dude next to me falls out of his seat, drinks, everywhere, people screaming, and I was just like, like, this is it. And and then the pilot comes back on. He's like, really sorry about that, folks. We seem to have hit an air pocket. Not a big deal. And we were all like, fuck you, dude.
He's like,
Not a
yeah.
big deal.
And now you know what really happened is he knew how to push the plane down when he dropped that 100 feet.
Now
He
I'm
would've
thinking
went
the
up.
same shit.
You would
I'm
have
like, was it
3.5
Frost?
minutes of drinks everywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just had a big sip of coconut rum and I've fallen over the steering wheel and pushed the plane down 100 feet. Sorry about that.
My
Your
bad,
movie
everyone.
tonight will be Dangerous Liaisons.
It was ridiculous. But the best part about it was that after that, no one gave, when like the seatbelt light comes on, everyone's like, oh, better sit down. No one gave a fuck. People were like smoking and handing out
You
treats.
survived the tragedy. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're good. You can.
It was
I
nuts.
imagine though, I've been on a flight where that happened on the way home from Germany one time. It was like pouring rain and there was lightning outside, but you were so high up you could see the lightning happening.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I remember being like fast asleep and the plane dropped. And I remember waking up and looking at everybody, and everybody was in not good moods. A couple screaming, some crying.
Right.
And I remember being so tired. I was like, I don't care. I went right back to sleep. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like the guy in the Rocky 4. Like if he dies, he dies. I didn't care. I just like Ivan Drago over here.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That's how I feel in those situations too. My wife is very like anti-flying.
Yeah.
And I just give her a kiss and I'm like, we're going together if we go. And I'm going right to bed.
Yeah.
I'm right out.
Big
Might as well enjoy the view while you're up there, right? Like open the fucking shade, look down,
Yep, that's it.
take it all in.
I mean, you want to hear another story about because I Google recommends things now. So now I'm only getting recommended plane crashes. It's beautiful. It's so, yeah, thanks a lot, Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
Algorithms.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this real quick. If you go on TikTok, I don't know if you're on there,
No.
but I don't know why I've stumbled upon this, but it's been coming up. People have actually been TikToking, like, the Gen Z or whatever, filming plane shit. So you can watch it all. Engine on fire is on there. The plane actually dipping, going down, emergency landing.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great, but it's like in real time and everyone's freaking out. And I watched one where someone was like, why are you filming? And it's like, I guess that's that she's chosen to die. Just relax, dude. Like,
I'm documentary.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Imagine how many views we'll get if we make it.
My life didn't matter before this. It's my moment. Leave me alone. Let me die.
They know they have 3 minutes to make a TikTok account. And they're like, what should my name be?
Yeah. Going down 666. Like that's what I would do. I wouldn't care at all.
Yeah,
If I was,
absolutely.
I would just be like, I'm making every joke I can. I'm going off the cliff laughing. So I got recommended this other, like this poor lady, she didn't end up surviving, but everyone else on the plane did. And so what happened was like the blades in the engine, one of them broke off, and there's like a shroud that protects that from happening. It's supposed to protect anything shooting out of the engine from coming out. And but apparently it went out and then went backwards. So she was sat in the window seat behind the engine,
Right.
and so I guess the blade of the plane hit her window, and
shit.
so it breaks open and she goes out the window, but like halfway. So she's half out the window and half like in a chair, and then they so they had to get some people to pull her in, and I guess like she had she had sustained injuries where she didn't survive. But when the engine, so everybody's focusing on the woman went out the plane.
Yeah.
The engine blew up. So like the plane is still going with a blown up engine and 285 other people on the plane, which the pilot somehow, one of the people on the like that worked on the plane, like steward or whatever, they're like, hey, there's a lady out the window. He's like, I understand. I'm landing the plane that doesn't have an engine right now. So you're going to have to go sit down. So they did. And the pilot just lands the thing, but safe.
Wow.
Everybody survived. So what I'm trying to say is like, because the lady went out halfway out the window, I think everybody else was sort of spared the fact that their plane was crashing.
Right.
Yeah.
So like the terror of that maybe didn't dawn on people,
Yeah.
and which is
Yeah.
kind of like horrifically amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to
absolutely.
think about it, but this is what's in I'm sharing because I have to live with it now.
No, but that's a really good.
And now so do all of us.
And now, yeah, everybody else does too.
And now it's Fight Club.
And now- that is crazy though, because it's like everybody else. You're right. They were preoccupied with this woman sticking. Because no one's ever seen that.
No.
Especially like no. So their brains are just like everything else is going on in the background.
And I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to be selfish or anything, but I feel like once she's sucked halfway out the window, clogging it up from sucking everybody out,
Yeah.
would you be like, hold on, are we supposed to pull her back in right now?
I think you gotta pull her in. I think you gotta pull her in, or else you go to hell. You gotta pull her in.
Something weird
least
has
hang
to
on.
happen. You can't be breathing once that thing opens up.
No, but that's not. I was just gonna say I watched another.
don't
It's so
know.
weird that we're all watching plane videos. I watched one where the fucking pilot. I don't know if you've seen this one. They thought he was dead. Did you see it?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and he lived, but they thought they were like for sure thought he was dead, but they were hanging on to him because he was like outside the fucking plane. And
And it landed.
and it
right?
landed. And he was okay. So like I don't know what in that's like now I'm curious because why did she die and how did that guy live?
I think she got hit by
She got hit by
By
debris.
shrapnel.
I think so
Ah.
because they said that they were very classy about not describing her injuries, but
Mm,
they, like there were injuries, and so
Right.
she was like they were performing CPR as the plane was landing.
Right.
So and but this was like right after. Was this the one that was right after like 9/11? I think it might have been.
yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but it was pretty bad. So
Right.
I don't know. This is terrible. My friend is a pilot, and matter of fact, I just saw him, and he was like, "Can't wait to get back on the plane." And I was right about to go. You know what I just been seeing on Google? And I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna live with my
Yeah.
terror myself. So if he's watching this, hi Scott.
I wonder if they have to do some kind of like prep or training. Like, I wonder if they have to like be fully aware of what could happen. You know what I mean?
They do, but
Definitely.
they don't
Because-
tell you.
Right. Are you one of those people though who like when you know you feel better about like you have to know because you're watching these videos?
No.
Do you feel better? No, you don't. If
I
Yeah,
don't
go
feel better. Like I gotta get on a flight in like about a month, and I'm not pumped at all. Like
No,
I'm
no,
like
no.
I'm looking at Greyhound options, but
I had a bus story I was going to tell you, but now I won't.
I was gonna say the math is so much better in the air than it is on the ground. Like your percentages are way better. I'm an odds guy. I'm a math guy.
if something bad happens on the ground, totally survivable.
Right.
In the air, not a lot of survival options.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So but you're right. It's
You know what
probably safer.
This is one of those things that people who don't like to fly Google though. I remember Googling like why,
Like what?
if the option is like, survivability in a plane crash, not that great. Why don't they just give everybody a parachute? And the answer was it's too expensive. And I was like, oh, all right. So safety, not so much, and that's it. But yeah, the only reason why they don't provide everybody with some kind of parachute thing is because it's just too pricey.
Got to run that Facebook.
Yeah. Because I was like, yeah, if we can each get a flotation device, fuck that shit. Just give me something,
They can't even give you a meal.
That's
not
such a
giving
good point.
Give you rat food.
That is such a good fucking point.
You know what also sucks about planes is that like they tell you like, oh, this is it. I've never ridden in first class, but I've been in business class before, right across from Chelsea Clinton one time.
Wow.
And the food that they gave you was like, my wife cooks better in a rushed breakfast than that food in
Yeah.
business class. And they're
Right.
supposed to be, that's like the finer option. I'm like, you're just basically like, it's like when you're beating someone and you turn the hose off. Like you're not really doing them a favor. You're just relieving them of the injury you were inflicted.
right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, am I the
Yeah.
hero now because I've stopped hitting you?
Right.
Yep.
It's food for thought,
A
America.
good analogy.
Yeah.
And this episode is brought to you by American Airlines.
Not
Thanks,
one of the
Delta.
100 top, not one of the safest airlines. I'll say that. Delta.
In the last 2 episodes we've done, we've shit on Target and now basically all airline. Like we're just never getting any sponsors.
Target, not a good. You know who's good? I like these Vox amps behind us. Yeah, they'll save you from a plane crash.
Oh, yeah.
You just land right on one of them.
Right on one of them. That's the best. Have you done the small plane thing before?
No, I won't. But one time, Benjamin, drummer of Gaslight Anthem, was going to see his then mistress, now wife.
Oh.
Just kidding, it wasn't his mistress. I just wanted to say that because it sounded cool. Girlfriend, and then now whom is now his wife, was flying to see her, I guess, for some anniversary or lame stuff that they were doing.
Right.
And so he had to go. He had to be out. He was like, I'm meeting her in England or something the day before, and we were all like, we didn't have anybody to meet, so we were like taking the regular plane, and he took a jumper, they call it, or I don't know.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
From Spain, which in Spain, beautiful country. However, they do things slightly different. Such as the plane that they, on this particular airport, which I'm not sure if it's all airports like that. I don't think it is. But on this airport, it was definitely from like the Dick Tracy film set in the 1940s. So there, it was like, I think a guy was like, "You ready to go to the jungle?" And like Humphrey Bogart was still sitting there smoking a cigar on the plane.
He keeps telling random women, "You got to get on this plane," and they're like, "I don't know you."
And it was raining only where the plane was, lightning. And then he gets on this thing and he tells us this. He weaves the tale about how he is essentially flying like a kite.
Right.
Terrible. Not a good safe plane. And he said he was terrified. Things you do for love,
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. He moves an inch, his foot goes through the bottom of the plane. He's like, "Is that supposed to happen?" It's fine. It's normal.
Yeah. But not one of the safest things.
No,
but
I remember doing it for the first time, and we were all walking out I didn't know we were doing it. No one told me we were doing it because they know I didn't but I thought we were getting on a plane, and I was like, "Oh, cool. I've never been out to the tarmac. To the tarmac before and done this. It's pretty fucking sweet." And then as we're getting closer, and I was like, that's a tiny, we're getting on a tiny plane, and they were like, "Yep." And I was like, "No one told me we were gonna La Bamba this fucking thing. Is there any other option?" And they were like, "No, but don't say La Bamba too loud before we're getting on a plane." And I was like, "Now you're superstitious? How about just not getting on this plane?" It was fucking freaky, dude.
I hate that part of the movie.
Me too. It's the worst.
I used to watch that as the first song I was ever obsessed with, and Lou Diamond Phillips, that movie. I always pretend that's not going to happen. Yeah. Not this time.
Right. I know what you mean. You want the ending to change so bad.
He just turns it off and acts like they all got there.
Yeah. And Donna and Richie get married. Had a lot of babies. In Young Guns 2.
That would be so great. What if I actually did turn it off at that point and I just had no idea? And I'm like, "We're gonna try to get him on the show," and you guys are like,
Richie Valens. He's still Lou Diamond Phillips will be available. Probably not doing much.
Right. No. Yeah, no.
But he had a good run. He had Young Guns, La Bamba, Young Guns 2. I believe he had another film about the devil possessing a serial killer called The First Power.
Yes, he did, and that's a great thing that he did.
Scary movie.
It is a scary movie. It's fucking. Do you like horror?
You know what? Weird thing. Before I had kids, I loved horror. Something happened after I had kids where I got weird about. I don't know, like real violent stuff and horror. I started to be like, "Ooh, I don't know about that."
I have a few friends who got like that after they had kids, were like really gruesome shit. They think about it in a totally different way. They're like, I don't want to imagine the world like this while I've got people coming up in it.
Right. It's a different.
Yeah. Which makes anybody I'm single. I don't have kids. Tom doesn't have kids, but he's married. I feel like just makes me feel like a monster. I'm like, "You guys got to see this shit. It's fucking throat's cut." And they're like, "No, what is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm alone. I don't know what to tell you."
It's good.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Hey, I appreciate it. It's like one of those. We just watched one the other day. Yeah,
Not like I'm sitting here thinking I'm better than you guys, you know.
Exactly. You're like, I became a human over the years. I don't know.
It's really what parenting is about. It's thinking you're better than your friends without kids, right? Like, oh yeah, we can't go out if
oh
kids.
yeah, exactly. And the opposite is true of people who are single. They're like, look at them, they got nothing. Meanwhile, you guys are all cuddled and warm together, and
life. And,
it's
just like there's merits of both.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
But
and each group doesn't really understand the other so much.
I don't hate the horror though. I don't hate it. Like
no.
my friend did that Nun movie, and I haven't watched that. Yeah,
that's a good one though.
The Nun.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, it's scary though, is it?
Oh, it is scary. But I mean, like, well, it depends. Are you one of the like? Do you not like the? Do you prefer
big 6 foot scary nun demons? No, I don't
no. Yeah. Do you prefer that, or do you prefer? No, but I mean, like
the album is Night Divine, John.
Yeah. You know what movie? Go ahead.
I didn't pick up on that. No, it's like I know some people who can handle the fictional horror shit a little bit more, like the demon possessing shit or whatever, because you're like, it's not real, I can go to sleep. But the real shit, like anything that's like based off a true story where like a dude murders a family, like Strangers fucks me up.
Oh, I don't like that movie. Yes,
neither do I.
I told my wife, I said that's the scariest movie hands down I've ever seen.
100%, me too. I'm like, that actually legitimately fucked me up after I saw it. Especially because of the end where they're like, where you're like hoping to Christ there's some kind of like, even though there's no real reason for it, you really hope that there's like a motive there, and then they just say they did it for funsies.
Yeah,
and you're like, yeah, that's fucked up.
John never loves to say spoiler alert, by the way. Sorry, guys.
It's from like 2006.
Well, if you haven't seen this movie by now, but you know what? I think if you saw it, even if you knew what the outcome was, it's not making it any less scary.
Right.
It's horrific. Have you seen I thought the movie The Hunt was really good.
Me too. Hunt was great. Yeah, that was great.
Now I saw two right back to back that were kind of similar. There was The Hunt, and then where's the one where they're like all these rich people, and then like the lady gets married, and then they're like playing a game and like, who's gonna kill you?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that one, but that one's fucking phenomenal.
It's something like brilliantly titled like "Till Death Do Us Part" or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's new and it's awesome.
That one was fucking great too. Yeah. There's another one that's like The Hunt is great. That one's great, and there's another one where it's about a family that gets together. I think it's called like oh my god, it's I just went out of my head. But family gets together. They're all kind of wealthy. But there's a life insurance claim, and on somebody in that, like if they die, the kids get everything. So there's like parents, bunch of kids, and this guy is dating this new girl, and no one knows she's like a survivalist.
That's the movie.
That's the what?
That's
not the
one
Hunt,
I'm talking about. No, that's not The Hunt.
The other one you're talking
movie
about.
I'm talking about. Yeah.
Love that.
And she just is like. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and she winds up being like a badass. Like she returns like a bow that's thrown.
Wait, it's called Ready or Not, right?
That's it. Yes,
Ready or Not.
Yeah,
it's a great movie, and it will remind you of the Fugees.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. That's so true, man. That because that one album, that one song plays like consistently on a loop, right? Yep.
In my head, from New Jersey, it does.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody says "Ready or Not," I go, "Here I come."
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Horror gets me. Like I watched through the pandemic, I did this dumb thing where I was into every true crime documentary. So I watched Evil Genius. Have you seen that one?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude, it's so fucked up. These people I think we were around the same age, so we were probably in high school when this happened, because I vaguely remembered hearing about it in like 2003 or whatever, where a dude walked into a bank with a bomb strapped around his neck. You remember this?
No.
Oh yeah, he had like this contraption around his neck, and it was an actual bomb. And people thought he was like kind of faking or whatever, but he robbed the bank, and not for that much money either, by the way. Robbed the bank, and then they could tell something was
50, 60.
Yeah, just whatever he could get at McDonald's for the
$32.95.
Yeah, exactly. So he like goes out and they can tell something's wrong with him, and like the cops show up or whatever, and the thing starts beeping, and they couldn't get the bomb squad out there fast enough. Some shit was going on, and it just blew up. And they had to like do this whole thing figuring out who, because he didn't want to be in it. And like he was trying to explain to them that somebody put him in it. And that's the whole thing. This fucked up woman named Marjorie.
Wow.
Did you see this, Tom?
Really?
No, I didn't see it. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Her name is Marjorie something, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, she was this fucking horribly disturbed woman. And this dude she used to see who always used to talk about wanting to outsmart the FBI. That was his whole thing. That's all he ever talked about. And they knew this really lonely guy, and they kind of got him to do whatever they wanted. And one of them was the guy who wanted to fool the FBI constructed a neck brace bomb that could not be removed. Like he had all these crazy locks and shit on it.
Wow.
And that was it. And it like it's 7 episodes. You got to watch it. I mean, I know I'm not selling it well enough to
wild though. Like to think of the time.
Yeah,
like,
and it was in Pennsylvania, by the way.
Of course it was. Are you sure it wasn't like Bam Margera? Like, did he do that? It was probably his parents after all the stuff he pulled on them.
Yeah. Like, it may have well have been. Oh God, yeah, it was.
Wild. I'm just trying to survive a flight to Atlanta.
Yeah, good luck. And here's the thing. The thing that fucks me up about that shit is like these people exist in the real world. You have no idea. They were neighbors to people, you know, and it's always the same shit. Whenever you hear about them, they were real quiet. You know, we saw her at the grocery store, and you just never fucking know.
It's like that Tom Waits. What's he building in there?
Yes. Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, I see him dragging in things, and he never comes out to say hello.
Yeah. You ever see The Burbs?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Love that movie.
Yeah.
My neighbors, swear to fucking God, and I hope I don't think anybody on the street knows what I fucking do, but I think they're digging at night. Like, I swear to God, they're out at all hours. They're screaming at each other for no reason. I can hear it. I never see them during the day, but at night I just hear boom, bang. And I just think of the Klopex. I'm like, there's no way. I don't see the mother anymore. I shouldn't be saying this on air, by the way. Because then if anything is going on over there, they're going to be like, this fucking comedian next door knew.
Breaking Bad. You know what I mean? Could be meth.
100%. Yeah, it's fucking weird, dude. But yeah, they I'm always thinking of the Klopex, man. That's a great movie, by the way.
It's a good movie.
Underrated completely.
Very underrated. I think very underrated. It was Corey Feldman in there.
Corey Feldman, Tom Hanks, Bruce Dern.
Yeah.
I can't think of the neighbor that
Beautiful movie.
Yeah, that's amazing. When Bruce Dern falls off the roof.
The 80s. Good stuff.
Good classic with a fucking machine gun in his hand still, and it can't
do that anymore.
No, not on a
such
roof.
A different vibe.
Yeah.
It is. It's everybody's so smart now.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
smart. Can't be entertained by that kind of thing. Not possible. A Naked Gun? No.
Airplane? Get out of here.
Police Academy?
Right. Never.
Do you remember when we were kids? Like, we thought the special effects was so good in some of these movies, and then we go back and watch them again. We're like, what was wrong with me?
You know. But I think there was a lot of originality going on in movies where they would come up with an idea like The Burbs, and you wouldn't, that was good, and then they would make a film and they'd flesh it out, and like, to me, the simplicity of like, I don't know, like Beverly Hills Cop, like Eddie Murphy was the coolest,
the best,
and like, that's it. Like, he had the song and everything, and you just be like, and then they're doing 3 movies, still playing the same song, and I'm still in.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly.
Die Hard, cool.
Yeah. Oh, Die Hard was so fucking great. But yeah, what's crazy too is like I kind of get annoyed. Like I'll go out with people or whatever, we'll go see a movie, and I swear to God, they'll be like, that was fucking great. I'll be like, the main character's arc though, I'm really glad that he wound up doing a 180. I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. Sometimes I just want to hate the douche in the movie and like him and just be okay with it. But everybody's like over analyzing.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the what you summed it up perfectly. Like the needed comment of like, the arc of the main character. Actually, I could fly the plane. It's but really, like, Ted over there is a turd and doesn't know anything about anything. He just Googled some stuff, and I think that like there is this, this over like reaching sense of everyone's an idiot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I've done research on this. You mean you've Googled on your toilet?
Yeah,
Like you don't lie. Like, let's tell the truth. There are
Yes.
scientists, and then there's you Googling on your toilet next to me. Like, because that's
absolutely.
what we're all doing, texting your friends because you don't have time because your kids are screaming and your prescription ran out.
Right.
I mean, I'm just guessing.
Yeah. You're like not experienced this at all, but just shot in the dark there. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It is kind of weird. And I feel like everybody's like, nobody else's life experience matters anymore. It's just what you can get out in 160 characters about what you think that other person has or hasn't done correctly. And then that's it.
Yeah,
it's like, there it is. Yeah. It is
Yeah.
really weird.
Maybe I am like somebody. Oh, what do you know? Like you're just like not, And I'm like, I know what? I am judging you. I am judging you, and
Yeah.
not even because I am better, because I'm pretty sure that our grandparents knew more than us.
Yes.
And that
Yeah.
should be shameful
Oh, dude.
because we are
It's-
getting stupid.
You're not. You're
We
talking
are.
about. Speaking of things you're not allowed to fucking say. You are not allowed to praise anybody that's older than you. They don't know shit. You know that, right?
No,
Like,
I
we-
didn't know that.
Oh yeah. You're not allowed to talk about anybody that's any. It's so funny to me that like we're not like I used to hang out with people who were older than me when I was younger all the time. Like I thought
Yeah.
you were supposed to glean wisdom off the people who were near death because they just lived their life. And now apparently it's just like this. Like I kind of hate the boom. I know we're not boomers, but I do kind of feel bad for people who are older who say anything and they're like, fuck you, dude. Like, what do
Yeah.
you know? And I'm like,
Well,
I
I
don't know.
know about 52 years life experience.
Yeah.
exactly.
I do. You know what I know? Don't talk to me until you've paid alimony.
Yeah.
How many times you had a blood test? You ever had chlamydia? Like I feel like that's the kind of stuff that people would say, and you'd be like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I never thought about that."
Right.
Yeah, you've been through it.
Or just fucking cherry pick. Like that's what everybody
Yeah.
used to do. Like sometimes you would hear something from somebody who was older and you'd be like, this guy's fucking nuts, but I'm taking some of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then other times you'd be like, wow, he makes a really good point.
Yeah,
Like-
like I think that I look forward to being the house on the street where the kids don't go for Halloween, but I'd be happy to, give you life advice and
Yeah,
tax evasion or something like that.
dude,
Um,
absolutely. For like half a second, I zoned out because I was like, if he knows anything about tax evasion, I would like to.
Hey, you just got your podcast listed by the FBI.
Remember
I'd like to
talk
say hello to
Brian.
the FBI agents that are currently listening because we've said the trigger word.
Just happy someone's listening.
Yep.
Hello,
No,
boys.
we've got 2 listeners now.
How you doing, gentlemen? Cheers.
Is that still Bridget Fonda? You still watching? She was in that FBI movie where they wear your badge on the seat on the pant thing with the wallet, like the flip wallet, and you wear it in the front. So just in case. So listen though.
We have never had a Bridget Fonda reference on this show yet. I love that. I didn't. You're pulling them out today.
Well, it's like 4:46.
Great.
It's getting darker in this room that I'm in. This is like there's like a lot of windows in here, so like during the day it's really bright, but and then around this time it gets very dark.
Oh, yeah.
And but no one's in earshot that I could say, hey, can you reach the light switch? So I can't. So I'm just gonna fade out with nature.
we had Stevie Van Zandt literally get up and let his dog out. So if you want to open a blind, open a blind.
I had
it's
to
not a
do
big
that earlier today. And
Oh,
my
nice.
dog out. And he's out. It's fine.
What's
Steve
fun is
lets
when
his
we're-
dog out.
deal. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, he lets his dog.
He doesn't have like
a.
a.
You'd think he's very humble.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Humble
Yeah, he's
guy.
really cool. He's actually a really cool dude. Yeah. But it's funny. I think when I say
He's a-
let
he's
it
a
out, he just
mobster.
opened the balcony. Yeah.
So he's gonna. Yeah. He's a,
I'm not worried about the FBI. I'm worried about the moms.
yeah. He's a,
Easy.
he's
Brian, your feed's breaking up.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. It's weird. Yeah. Ixnay.
You know
Hey,
what's I think he grew up like right around where you grew up too, which is the crazy part. He was
In
in
Red Bank?
Middletown. Yeah, Middletown, and he hung out in Red Bank.
really? What was it to
Nice.
do in Red Bank?
Back
I don't
then,
know
probably
that.
not.
Oh
then.
my goodness! Everybody said you're from Red Bank, they go, "Oh, Red Bank's so beautiful." Red Bank was a dump when I was little. There was like, we went to the arcade one time. I remember me and my friend John, and we went to the Hobby Masters arcade. They had, when I say arcade, I mean they had 3 video games. these older kids like straight up robbed us outside of the thing for our coins.
Holy shit.
Yeah, not cool.
No.
That's Red Bank for you.
Yeah.
So
it was a different town a couple of years. Like we were much younger.
Yeah, it is weird when you see like homemade cupcake shops, like they're set up like Starbucks is every 3 blocks. There's like another homemade fucking.
Yeah.
It's like Cleo's shoe store where there's like French cream inside the shoe and you like sniff it or something. You know what I mean? I tell you what though, these shoes smell fancy. There's this, I don't know, there's like this shop down there on Broad Street with like real fancy shoes, and I would go in there. I like these things. They smell different when you look at when you go in. You ever been in like a real rich store?
Oh yeah,
the store you're talking about is Coco Paris, right?
Is it? I don't know that I'm saying that name. I'm not gonna associate the store, but it smells nice.
All right, I'll tell you a real quick story. Yeah. I have a store in Red Bank too, right? So we have a game room store that we sell. Like, we've been on the show Man Caves a couple times. We do that type of stuff. So I'm totally normal dude. Yeah, but I'm totally normal. Like I'm not like the guy that could shop in that store. So one of my exes had gone into that store. I was like, why don't you go window shopping? I have a client to meet. I'll meet you afterwards. I go into the store to meet up with her. They're dressing her up like a Barbie doll, right? With all these different bags and dresses and shoes. They have $1 million worth of shoes on the wall. I know exactly.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah, legit $1 million in shoes. And they like, would you like a scotch?
I'm
would you
fascinated
like this?
though.
Would you like that? Right?
I was born to be rich, but I'm not. I would sit there and I'd smell.
Yep.
I'm gonna walk in and be like, Brian Fallon told me to smell your shoes. May I come in?
They probably kick you out. Yeah. If you said Little Steven told you that, they might let you in. Because they won't let me in there. I bet you Little Steven can afford that.
I think so too.
He could do it.
If he breaks his hand, I'm calling Bruce. I'm in there. Hey, I heard Steven had an accident. You need a guitar player? Yeah. No, I would never. Steven could still take me at his age, even. He'd take me right out. I got so much anxiety. I probably have like some kind of episode before the fight started.
What if he challenges you to fight on a plane after seeing the episode and you're like, I'm out?
I'd fight him.
On the wing?
I was just being humble. I totally.
That's
great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
we can set it up,
dude.
Tom and I are going to set up an arena now on a tarmac.
Dystopia Fight Club. Perfect.
Yeah. Bring it. I'll take my own Coco Paris money out of his wallet. No, I'm totally kidding. Now I'm gonna get assassinated in the Sopranos.
Oh my god! I'm clipping just that and sending it to him. You think Jake Paul owns the celebrity fight arena? No, we're doing this.
You can't say celebrity though, because like Little Steven might be a celebrity, but I might be I'm just above like a lawn guy, like a landscaper. Like I'm not really a celebrity. So like there's like 50 kids in like, Manalapan that would buy tickets to see me fight anybody. So, but like also too, you can't fight Steven though, because he's you got to respect Steven because he's done all these things and like he's great. Yeah. But also, his radio show like is how I learned about like Rocky Erickson and like all this cool music that I probably would have never heard about. So, like there's a healthy respect, but however, if I could get into that Coco Paris business, like, but I got too much weight on me to fit in any fancy clothes right now. So,
oh no,
I'd have to hit some keto first. I can't fit it. You know how it is. Like, expensive stuff is they cut out the competition. By cutting out the competition.
Literally,
you're not if you don't have enough money to get in there. They make sure that they they chop you out because they say, nah, they want you to be a certain look, and I'm not that look.
Yeah, they don't want. I hate. I've walked into stores like that before too, and I hate the immediate look. Like, this guy can't wear any. I walked into a fucking Express and they've looked at me like that, and that's not even like a Ritz. You know what I mean? Like when you're in like the fucking Freehold Mall and you walk into an Express.
I love the Freehold Mall.
Me too. It's a great place.
I love the smell of Lush too.
Yeah, man.
A little expensive. I'm gonna be honest with you. A little expensive, but I love the smell.
What's a thing you would splurge on if you could, aside from the shoes?
Like stupid stuff. Like I would buy like nerdy like guitar pedals or something.
Nice. No, that's cool.
Or I saw this North Face jacket that was like two-tone.
Mm-hmm.
It was like $2.99.
Wow.
And I was like, how cold am I? 'Cause I guess it was like warm. It was a warm coat, and I'm not that cold. $2.99. Yeah. It's a lot of cheeseburgers.
Yeah, that'll keep you warm.
It's a lot of rum. Because I don't know.
I've spent more than that on a leather jacket, and I won't say what I've spent on it, but I've spent. I love dude. I don't know. Ever since I was like high school, like I've always loved leather jackets, and it's like a thing. I don't know what it is. Even if I have, it is, but it's one of those like that's my thing that I'll be like, oh, I don't have one that looks like this, and it's really nice.
My wife has the coolest leather jacket I've ever seen. It's
really?
It's like the quintessential. That's a leather jacket. When you see it, you're like that's a leather jacket. It's right in all the ways, and it's like she got it at this place in California.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's like
on
I can't
Melrose.
Remember what. No, it was like Abbott Kinney. Is that
oh,
right?
Yeah.
Like there, like on that street. But it was like real cool, and I remember being like, yeah, that's cool. It looks like the Ramones. It's tough.
Dude, I know. I was. That's what I had in my head. I've got a similar. I got a jacket from Shot makes the ones that like. That's what I wound up splurging on, man. I fucking wanted it. I had a
Shot jacket.
Yeah, man.
I don't own a Shot jacket.
You got to get one.
I would love to.
You should.
Everything pricey.
They are. I wrote it up because I was like, I did a bunch of gigs when I was doing stand up or whatever, and I was like, fuck it, I'm spending comedy money on a badass jacket, and I still have it. It's right. Yeah, exactly. I was like, that's my fucking splurge thing or whatever. But yeah, I'll slaughter an entire field of cattle for a perfect leather jacket. I'm an animal guy, but I'll be like, can you guys make me?
You're wearing it everywhere.
You gotta not waste it. That's what I was taught.
That's true. I got a wool jacket. You know how I know it's getting nighttime? Because my Apple computer is changing the screen to a dusk setting. So I can't think for myself.
Yeah, just
I'm trapped in a computer. So like that's what it feels like. So I got a wool jacket from Filson because I like to look like I like the outdoors, but I hate them because I hate bugs. But
dude, same.
But this is the thing. So that company in particular, Filson, they make like rugged man stuff. Like, and I'm not into any man stuff. None. I like sniffing the shoes. None of the man stuff.
I hear you.
Couple capacitors, but what I would really think is I always would like say to them on the Instagram, I'd go, what about touring people? You ever been on tour? That's worse than the wild. You roll through a couple gas stations in Wichita. Let me tell you about roughing it. Like they have no idea what it's like to like, go to a dentist in like Germany at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, roughing it.
Yeah.
Tell Chris Stapleton I'll cover his amps in my blood. I've suffered. The whole
Bear Grylls has got nothing on Wichita. Yeah.
Filson made an amp cover for Stapleton.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That's where the
that was nice.
That was a connection.
That reference, all the other references I got, that one I was like, I'm gonna have to Google that later.
That's why I clarified.
Between watching plane videos, I'm gonna have to Google it.
Well, no, there's no videos. I didn't watch the videos of this.
You just read about them.
Yeah, I would not watch a video on that.
You're gonna now that I mentioned it on TikTok.
No, no, but TikTok's a place I feel like maybe it's not for me. Also like a high school dance.
Yeah,
maybe TikTok's not for me.
It's so that's a good fucking point though, because I feel like the amount of shit that you have to have and do when you're like, I don't want to be on any of that shit, and it's pathetic because it's like you're not even doing anything on there anyway. It's not like people are looking for my stuff on TikTok.
Yeah.
I had one video that went viral, and then that was it because they were like,
"That's cool."
It was cool, but then nobody gives a shit because they're like, "You're not gonna do it again." I'm like, "No, it's a one-off." That's all I could do.
That's tough. You got one single, you got to follow it up.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Like, do it. I don't want to do it.
I feel like I can't let the youth express themselves. That's what I believe in. I firmly think that something's like my manager would say to me, like, "You think we should get a TikTok?" And I'd be like, "No." Because you know why? Because that's for the youth. Let them do it. Let them create their world and have their, let them be creative in a world not marred by the elderly.
Yeah. I agree, dude. Well, marred by the elderly is a great name. Yeah.
Hey, right there with you want to see my TikTok? It's called Things Ruined by Old People.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Here's my opinion. Let me explain this to you. I'm a man.
Oh my God, that's fucking great. Yeah, it's terrible what everybody has to fucking think they need to do to go on that kind of shit. There's a woman on there that's like, that's older. I won't say who she is, but I feel so bad because every young person just shits on her when she's on there. And I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? Just don't do it anymore. And she's like, I belong here. And I'm like, I don't think so. It's like this format is good for we post on YouTube and then we post the podcast on Apple and whatever. But people are always like, you got to put this on TikTok. Like, no one wants to see this.
No,
it's not.
We are so beyond their attention span.
Yeah,
I think TikTok's like 15 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Let me ask you this, because I don't know the music side of it too much, but for comedy, I still get like comedy clubs that are like, if they don't know who you are or whatever, one of the things they always ask is, how many followers you got? And I'm just like, it doesn't matter because they're not all in fucking, Sheboygan, like they're not here. They're there. I don't know where they are, but do you get that with music too? Do they care as much?
I don't know. Cause like it's been a long time since like I got the management buffer.
Right.
So I don't get those questions, but I think if I got the question, I'd hang up now. Like, cause it's like not a thing.
Yep. I agree.
We came in that old school time where it was like it was before maybe there was MySpace, but it was like, so there's a different mindset. And I think we were lucky enough to not have to do this,
right?
Which is like, this is like a secondary thing, like to have an Instagram page or whatever. Like sometimes I think like, it really got to make sure that the Instagram's good and they have enough.
Yeah.
And then I realized like, you don't care. Like the people that care about us are they're just looking online to see when we're playing or
when you're playing,
when the new record's coming out or what's happening. Like they're not really looking for like me to entertain them in any
way.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I try to post on my I used to try to post like stuff on Instagram that I thought people would like, try to get in on whatever the trend was at the time or something like that. And then I was like, I'm miserable and I'm just gonna share whatever I want to share. And then if people follow, they follow. If they don't, they don't. And but that's about it. But
then a lot of art has changed too, right? So like when years ago, talent would bring you into the right circle. Now it's you have to kind of expose yourself in all these mediums to show that you do have talent. Like talent's not going to get you there if you can't crack an algorithm nowadays.
That's true.
That is true. That's really strange.
Yeah, it is.
It's a wild thing.
And I'm always the last. Like I wasn't. MySpace was around when I started doing stand up. And then, I think like Dane Cook or whoever the hell it was, like tapped into that way, like immediately and figured it out.
Cook. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Right? I know. But he was, when I started doing stand up, it was 2005. And he was like the dude who broke away on MySpace. And that was like, because he figured it the fuck. Oh, dude, they actually, MySpace changed because of him. Because he had he and a few others at the time made these, figured out the MySpace algorithm or whatever it was, so that they would just dominate, like have these fake accounts. and then blast, because you could promote your shows, but on MySpace do it with like centralized in a city area. So that the only thing that they would see was like, if you were in Ohio, you could promote it there. But if you had multiple MySpace pages that were fake, you could go to different accounts and do the same thing. So you just dominate. The whole thing was the algorithm was easy to beat. So MySpace was basically had like, a picture of Dane, I think, up on the wall, and was like, this guy cannot promote. Like, they changed everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was really weird, but it was brilliant at the time. But then again, a bunch of us were like, oh, we can get famous going on MySpace. Nixed it. Fucking ruined it, whatever. And then same thing with Facebook. Facebook was like, get rid of your websites, because you can share your shit on here. And then the algorithm changed there. And now if you share a link from YouTube or your website or whatever it is, Facebook is like, no, unless you pay to promote it, it doesn't get seen on the newsfeed. It's a weird fucking thing, dude.
It's so weird. I feel like I just missed, like, I got in right at the last, like, I think I was Indiana Jones sliding under that door right before it
Luke Skywalker.
The guy behind me, like, right. I'm on the backslide.
It's crazy, man. I envy that, because
that sucks being a kid.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because think about it. If you're in high school now, you start off with your entire graduating class following you on Instagram or whatever. So you already feel like a celebrity. You got like, if you got a high school with like 5,000 people, you got 5,000 followers. So every time, and I think for entertainers, like if businesses are qualifying it, like how many followers do you have? You're never going to beat somebody that just got them because they're friends, like legitimate, or like it's just a thing to do.
Yeah, that's weird.
You're competing really with like a weird market now.
Some people, it just clicks, and they do one thing really good, and then people just want to keep seeing them do that. Right. But that's not an act. Like when you go to a stage, you're not gonna. You can't just keep doing that over and over again. It's not gonna. I don't think it would sell. Yeah. But for some reason, like the people turn out in droves,
right?
Because they're like, oh. It's little kids now, like little kids. My nephew, it's all about being like YouTube or Instagram famous. So like I had a video getting like, it was getting like 50,000 plus views pretty quick. And my nephew was like, oh, this is great. How many you got today? What's going on today? Like, that's what they think fame is. It's so weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't know. It's weird.
It is. Yeah, it's such a weird.
I worry about the kids when they're like, I try to, I don't let them on anywhere near any of that stuff because they're too young. But I always tell them, like, don't listen to what these kids say. These other your friends or whatever they're called.
Yeah,
they don't pay your bills. You know what I mean? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. It's a weird thing. I think that there's like a real, like, misguided sort of idea of and like of what success is and fame in that realm too, because like it's so fleeting. Like if you're like what happens like when you're like the the internet Paris Hiltons of like the world, because like when your few minutes of fame or years or whatever goes by, like that you have to live the rest of your life, and it's not your career, it's just a moment. You have to understand that, like we all went into this being like, this is gonna last 2 weeks, like, we'll have some fun, get some free pizza, and then we'll meet Bruce Springsteen and go home. And that was the goal. But now it's just like we're still like waiting for like, when's this gonna stop?
Right.
Yeah.
Did you?
Who knows?
Was there a point where like you guys felt like you were secure though, and you're like at a certain point, you know what I mean? Like where you felt like, oh, we're comfortable, we made it, like we know what we're doing.
No, because it always feels like you're right at the edge of like some drop off point. Right. Like, and I think that kind of idea keeps changing, because when you're young, you think like, the punk kids aren't going to like us anymore because we're got too big or whatever, and then those kids are going to move on, and then like you worry about like the radio thing, and then you worry about getting older, and then I guess eventually you come to this place where you're just sort of like, like we'll do whatever makes sense at the time, and if people like it, fine. If they don't, fine. However, there is that element of like, you got to pay the electric bill because that doesn't care if you're popular.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But you still love doing it. And I think that comes across though, right? Like as much as like
this. I hate this. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
No, but I mean, like you still love doing it, but like people know you. I think that's a that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're like, even if you feel like they're not out there, they're still like, you know, it probably surprises you still when you're like, oh my God, this is great. They're still buying the new shit.
Definitely. I mean, and for me, it feels good because you get to go out there, even if I see them like during this whole, like, you know, pandemic thing, like seeing them online, mine is much less pressure. I don't feel like I have to perform or do like a circus act for them to like stay tuned. Right. I feel like all the benefit, it really like showed me this time, has shown me like how much, you know, the band and everything has like impacted their lives, where it's become like part of their life. And like the music that I do, whether it's new or old, they've signed up.
Yeah.
So like that's the benefit of having like a cult following. You know, like I think that's why like things like this Cobra Kai show is so big right now, because there's this group that's still very much a consumer, you know, my age and you know, and a little older, who they're like, oh yeah, the kid who got kicked in the face with the Mr. Miyagi thing. Yeah, we want to see what happened to him.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. Yep. And obviously that might not be for the TikTok generation. However, I think some of them have come along.
Yeah.
But there's still a place for the cult classic, I think.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not so sure that like it could cross over. Like, I don't know if there's going to be a movie, but
no. Yeah.
Do you need a movie if you're the Cobra Kai people?
Exactly. You know what I find fascinating too is like how the gaps are bridged now. Like, you're never going to get it. Like, I feel like the generations that are coming up have to stumble upon something that we used to like. If they don't do it that way organically to them, they don't give a fuck about it. But like, I've noticed like older music that like, even from like the 60s and 70s that I, you know, from going through TikTok and look at that kind of shit, like all of a sudden it'll just pop up. And I'm like, how the hell do they know that song or whatever the hell it is? And I'm like, oh, because it's just one of the trending things on TikTok. If you find it yourself, you own it. You know what I mean? But if somebody presents it to you like, you should listen to the Ohio Express, and they're like, fuck you. You know, like, oh.
Or randomly, we have a mutual friend, another comedian he is not on TikTok. He's outside. He's like a bit older than us. Outside of it altogether, and his daughter shows him that these kids are all doing his bit on TikTok. They're mouthing his words in his bit.
He's way.
Like crazy, and he's getting millions of views of these kids doing his bit, but he's never been on TikTok in his life.
That's cool though.
Well, the funny thing is if he would post himself on TikTok, they'd be like, "Get off, old man."
Beat it.
He's like, "It's my voice you're dubbing over. What are you, out of your mind?" And they're like, "Fuck it."
They are out of their mind.
Yeah, it's real weird.
They're crocodiles in the water. They don't care. They'll shred you. They're like piranhas. They'll just shred you.
Absolutely.
It's terrible.
And the funny thing is that you think you're secure until they start shredding you, and you're like, oh god.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, what are they going to make fun of me about?
Yeah, then, I thought it was an adult.
Yeah, it's like being audited.
Yeah, it's a cool audit. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Like, wow,
where did these receipts come from?
You ever been to court? You ever been to court, little kid?
I really, honest to Christ, hope you make that into a shirt and sell it at your like no context whatsoever. Just you're selling shirts that say you've ever been to court, and people are like,
that's why I don't think you've really lived until you've been at some kind of trial,
right?
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's a good point. I got to ask you about the album a little bit too, because I feel like I haven't asked you at all. But I've been loving the conversation. Okay, great. I wasn't sure. I was like, oh,
who cares?
I'm not doing my job. But you did do this during the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was it something that you were passionate about, and that's why you did it? Like, was it something you thought about beforehand, or during the pandemic you were like, always wanted to take a crack at it, let me do it?
No, like my mom used to sing hymns around the house when I was a little kid, so I always thought like, you know, it'd be cool to tackle those and like do them how I would do them now. And then I just had the time during but I had to learn how to record myself, and because you weren't allowed to go to any studios, you know, you know, separation and all that. So I spent a ton of time on YouTube learning like different things, and then, you know, being steered clearly wrong. And then I had to call an actual professional. You know, so they told me that over the phone that, you know, a lot of people helped me out, and then I was able to like do it, but a lot of trial and error, and it was difficult, but
worth it.
Yeah, worth it. I mean, I'm glad it's done, and I'm glad I got to do it. Like, I feel like I achieved something.
Yeah.
which is, it's good.
Cool. What was your I mean, how drastically did your process change other than having to do it on your own? Like, as far as putting the music together in your head, like, was it different not being with anybody else and like kind of like,
Well, yeah, and it sucks because you have to like run your cables and like, if something goes wrong, that's your day,
right?
Like, oh, great, like the server's kicking me off again. Oh, cool. Like I got to go chase this down instead of like, and you only have windows. You have like the kids are at school or they're online instruction, and you only have that window because then you got to be a parent. So it was like, oh, well, my day got eaten up by a coaxial cable. So you're like, nice, not getting any work done today.
Right.
And then you're like, when's that deadline? So it's a frustrating thing. I cannot recommend recording by yourself.
Yeah, it's got
go to the studio, kids. It comes out better. What you think sounds good in your laptop sounds like crap.
Oh my God.
Trust me.
I can imagine.
No one likes it. Your friends are all high. Hey, let me tell you a science fact, kids. First thing that goes from alcohol is your hearing. It's true. When you're drunk, first sense you lose is first sense. When you start drinking alcohol, the first thing it affects in a human body is your hearing. That's why your mixes suck.
Wow.
Kids. But you didn't know that, did you?
Holy shit.
You're still recording on what, Bose headphones or whatever you're doing?
Now I want you to come back on the show to just do Uncle Brian segments where he tells you about what's the dangers of alcohol.
Hey, kids, let me tell you, cocaine makes you think that dance looks funny. Cocaine's lying.
We're talking about the Macarena, right?
Yeah. I miss all those dances. They used to have a dance. Everybody would do it. You used to have, like, I feel like TikTok has created 9 billion. The internet, not TikTok. The internet has created 9 billion things where you go, hey, did you see that thing? And everybody's like, no. But like there was like construction workers doing the Macarena. You'd be driving through like Midtown and they'd be like, is that guy doing the Macarena?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Because everybody knew about the same thing because it was only 5 channels.
Yeah. I know it is. Even when I'm doing stand-up and stuff like that, I'm like, back in the 80s when you were watching a comedian do stand-up, it was the same. Everybody had the same fucking reference point because it was only like, certain things going on. Everybody kept up with the news. And now it's just like anybody, like the age range is different. The fucking internet's different. So you're like trying to gauge it. Nobody's seen shit.
But they got the kids with the attention span. They can pay attention to 50, 60 things at once. They really
can. Yeah.
Not me. I started having a breakdown.
Yeah. It's the ADD thing. It's like, how long can you keep this up before you fucking, I can't sleep. I have to literally put my phone on
sleep anymore.
I just start cracking up. I'm like, I can't do it. You gotta help me. I have to put my phone on the other side of the room and hope that I'm too lazy to go and get it because otherwise it's all night. It's all fucking night. I'll be scrolling through shit.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I'll take these breaks from the social media for a while. And like, just to what I'm amazed at is how much more of the day I get.
Yeah.
Like I'm it'll be like 4:00 and I'll be like, I did a lot today. Wow.
Yeah.
And it really, I don't know that, like, I honestly, like, I make jokes about like, being old and stuff, but I'm not against any of the technology stuff. I think it's like, it's cool for kids. It's an outlet for them to be creative and in different ways. And I encourage it, but I don't know that it's for me because I feel like I'm wasting my time when I do it, like, because I don't have anything to add to this.
Right.
I have something to add to, like, over here.
Yeah. It sucks because I feel like even my parents and like, my older relatives or whatever feel like they have, it's a shame that they feel like they have to be on it or they're not going to be able to connect with their family or their friends. And I think that's a shame. I think you should be able to just be like, I'm not doing, there's no reason for my 75-year-old aunt to be on Facebook.
Right.
And then have to be yelled at by somebody because they believe she has, an opinion that matters. And you're like, she really doesn't though. She just lives in fucking California.
Nobody's talking to you about polio, lady.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I know a few things about why everybody can still walk.
Oh my God, that's great. Oh man, dude, this has been a blast, man. I don't want to keep you too much longer. I got a few more questions.
I mean, nature is gonna decide for you.
I was gonna say I could tell it was getting darker. And I'm like,
you want to hold on? Let me watch this. I got the intercom. Hold on, in the little Stevens wing. I got. Let me see let's see if this works. See, like, let me see. I'm gonna text my wife. Can you? I gotta say it because I'm over 40. So I was like, can you turn the light on for me? I said it just like that. And my wife likes. She's not from America.
Oh, okay.
So she likes to remind me that sometimes when I speak out loud, she goes, "Well, you sound like Christopher Walken," and and she says, "Not when he was young." I go, "Oh, okay."
Wow.
Yeah, it's good, but I say he could dance though. You seen that Fat Boy Slim video?
Yeah. And also, can you show John your
watch
leather
this.
jacket?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, it works.
Much better.
Look at it, see everything.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden you can see the drugs in the background. And you're like, those aren't screws.
It's capacitors.
Capacitors.
See, Jupiter.
Who was you were talking about influences before a little bit, but who did you have like a passion for music from a young age? Always wanted to do it, or just came into it later?
Well, I wanted to draw comics when I was like a real young kid, and not even up until
comic books or like yeah, nice.
Yeah, like till I was like 18, and then like I went through the whole art school thing, and that was kind of a pain, and it kind of didn't go how I thought it was going to go. Like basically, like art school was lame, and it was just like regular school but with like pencils. So they, like they wanted you to draw like shapes and this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, the shapes are in the thing, but I get it that it's the foundation, but like we moved on past this, like I could draw a circle, see, but then that wasn't good enough. So I don't know, I got this, like, I don't want to say disenfranchised, but I did, and then I said, like this music thing is like my real passion. I'll suffer for this.
Nice.
And then my parents were kind of like, okay, we'll see how that works for you, but if it does, they're like, cool. They're like, they always used to say like the construction job's waiting for you if this doesn't work out. So they're like, it's not like you're missing anything. They're like, you can always come back and like, there's not gonna be a shortage of like roofers. Right.
Well, that's cool though. So they were like actually kind of encouraging.
They were were encouraging. They were like, they weren't pessimistic. They were like anybody else would be. Like if my kid was like, I'm a musician, I made that. But if one of my kids was like, I'm going to be a professional musician, I'd be like, sure you are. But check it out. Go ahead. Go ahead and try. Because like it's awful. And but if you make it, great. Yeah. I think making it is a different thing. Like people think like making it is like you're either, like Selena Gomez or you're not. And that's like there's like so many other levels of like failing that are like still financially good enough.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the thing, like just work. Oh, you're muted, Tom. Nope, you're still gone.
No, Tom's still gone.
Yeah, you're gone, buddy.
I suck, but thank you for picking that up.
I saw you like really getting into a good piece, and I was like, we can't hear you.
I was gonna say, is it failing or is it just other levels of success? Like people don't see it as a level of success, but if you're paying your mortgage and your bills, something you enjoy, I feel like you're the first level of success, and you can only keep going up from that, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm only making fun of like like my kids' friends' parents who like don't think I have a real job. So like, success completely. Yeah. But like, for like the relatives who are like, when are you gonna get a job? Like, well,
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, I feel that.
Yeah, we're all dead someday.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, dude, and people don't really understand like. Even small levels of success. I remember like, when I was young and I was starting out and I made it into like the New York Times, I was like, this is awesome. And they'd be like, but did you get paid? And I'd be like, for what? They mentioned like, I can't, exactly. Yeah. I'm like, this is fucking sick as shit. But you like,
I'm famous and I didn't kill anybody.
Exactly. Yeah, it is weird. So who do you admire coming up?
Oh, I mean, like right away, like well, honestly,
yeah,
I'm gonna say like the Bruce Springsteens and the Bob Dylans, but honestly, the first ones, like the Monkees, huge influence on me. When I saw the Monkees, that show on Nick at Night,
yeah, man,
I was like, I was like, the Monkees, this is great. Like you just live together and you go on adventures. This is music. It's great.
Yeah,
and then
that was my first concert as a little kid, by the way. The Monkees
was supposed to be
really,
yeah.
Wow,
Random. That was awesome. But I was into the New Kids on the Block. Love that. La Bamba.
Yep.
But my friends' sisters were on the front lawn dancing to Hanging Tough. I was like, well, you'd be dancing alone unless you learn the words to this.
What were your first? You remember your first cassette tapes?
Yeah, it was the La Bamba soundtrack. Nice. and Hanging Tough.
Mine was oddly enough, it was Ace of Base.
Yeah.
Dokken. And Green Day.
Green Day.
That's
like the wide spectrum.
It was a wide. I was just like, I like these things, and they were like, get them for whatever.
I think I got into music very young though. Like when I was getting these like tapes of like La Bamba, like I don't think that I was more than 6 or 7. Nice. So if I had the New Kids on the Block, like Hanging Tough, like I had to be 7, maybe just turned 7, because I was way into music, and my friends were like, "This is lame. What are you doing?" And like we want to go outside and play Army, and I was like, "Look, there's no girls playing Army." I'm like, they're like, girls are gross, and I'm like, "Listen, you are lame."
I feel like we had the same. I remember being in like elementary school, and there was the guys' table, and the girls' table, and I would sit at the girls' table, and all my friends would make fun of me.
Yeah,
and they'd be like, "What are you, a girl?" And I'm like, "Are you crazy? I am building a foundation here."
I'm working on the human race, pal.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you guys are farting over there at the table, being all gross, touching each other's food.
Yeah, cool.
Exactly. Setting up stock.
Yeah, I was like, listen, everybody, if you want to take a chance, get on the phone and do the New Kids dance.
Oh my God, that's great.
You know what's even greater is my wife and I just noticed, well, my wife noticed that in the step-by-step video, we just watched it the other day, Donnie's brother Mark is in the video, and he like gives him like a Boston, like
nice.
Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, right? All right, one of these days we're gonna do Good Will Hunting, and it's like real like Southy kind of like cool love, like it was cool. I don't know. She noticed it, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
I don't think I've ever seen the video.
It's great.
I'll check it out. I had New Kids on the Block.
What it is.
Yeah. Well, it's my mom got me into music when I was younger, and just like that's why when I was like in high school, my friends used to make fun of me because I'd have like a MP3 player, and the only songs that were like 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe stuff that was going on, whatever. But like I remember my friend getting in my car to borrow it for lunch, and fucking Aha was blasting, and they were just like, "What is wrong with you?"
That's a good song.
What's wrong? Right?
Yeah. Great song.
He's one of my best friends, and he's like, I can't not picture that song playing on a loop when you're driving.
Great song.
And I was just like, I don't tell you.
I remember as a kid, like I remember the car, like when you first started driving, like those big CD cases, and I remember having Billy Joel, Frank Sinatra, Jay-Z. It was such an eclectic weirdo mess, but it was all over the place.
Same. I had the same. Like Billy Joel's Greatest Hits 1 and 2.
Yep.
I think that see, people worried about texting while you're driving. You ever have one of those CD things, like when you have the heavy side slips and it goes under the brake pedal?
The visor ones that would all of a sudden the CDs would fly out and hit the passenger in the head, and you're like, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. Texting while driving.
Oh my God.
Quick,
dude, I used to have a car that the speedometer would break on it, and you'd just be driving, all of a sudden it would just go down to 0. And then, but the way I would handle that was I would punch the dash, and by doing that, it would flip back up. So and my friends wouldn't know like what was going on. Like they caught on to it eventually, obviously, but I'd be driving next to somebody and they just see me flip out and punch the dash. I'm like, oh, the speedometer. But then they started doing it while I was driving. So they would like really like enjoy it, and they would like try to look to see what happened, and then all of a sudden they would just reach over and like fist it. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I will do it.
Didn't become a mechanic.
I
said I'm surprised he didn't become a mechanic.
Could have been. I know. That's how I could have made my money doing stand-up in between.
I gotta watch The Burbs again.
Really, dude. It's I watch that every Halloween. It's like one of my favorite fucking films. That, and I don't know if you've ever seen Arsenic and Old Lace with Cary Grant. Oh, dude, it's like one of the best. It's in Brooklyn, so it takes place in Brooklyn or whatever. But he's just this author who goes to marry somebody, and he lives with his 2 old aunts. And I'm not spoiling anything. He lives with his 2 old aunts. He takes care of them or whatever. And he finds out they've been poisoning people who are lonely. They rent a room. He thinks they're sweet, and he's got a half brother, who thinks he's Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay.
And that's it. That's the whole thing. Arsenic and Old Lace. You got to watch it. Yeah.
Arsenic. That's not a way to go.
No, it's not. But they put it in elderberry wine. And these older gentlemen. Yeah.
What else would you put it in?
That's how they hide it.
What's he building in there? I said that to my wife the other day, too. There was a guy outside, like, suspicious.
Yeah.
Sitting there too long, sleeping in his car.
Right. Do you remember the first gig you played in Jersey?
No, but first gig.
First gig.
Wow, it was centuries ago.
Oh,
no, first show.
First gig, man. Yeah.
My dog's tearing apart a human being outside.
Now I'm starting to think your dog's the neighborhood, bro. And he's like, "We got this dog.
So big. Yeah. It's huge.
Oh my God. What kind of dog is it?
Yeah, it's a German Shepherd. He's fine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we got him on a farm. Somebody on a farm was a friend of a friend, and it was like, we got this dog. It needs a home. So you got to drive down here and get him.
Wow.
I said, yeah, let's go.
My first experience with the German Shepherd was this German Shepherd wolf mix that my great aunt and uncle used to have in Brooklyn. And this dog hated everything that moved except for my aunt and uncle. And they would have to literally with a chain it up into a room that they also put wooden boards over so that when it wouldn't be around other people when you would come over.
This is not a good dog. It's not a well-behaved dog.
And they loved this dog, but it was not. I mean, it bit random people. This is before anybody gave a shit when you're done. Now it's like all over Twitter and like they got to put the dog.
I know you bite one person, you got to get they put the dog down. I was like, how about you put the human down?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Exactly. This guy, our dog, he likes everyone. He likes all dogs and everything. He doesn't like this yappy one next door, but it's only because he can't see him. And if they were together, I'm sure they'd be friends.
And we don't know what the yappy one is saying to him over that fence.
We don't know. Yeah. It could be like, help, SOS, I'm being sprayed with a hose at night. But our guy was like real, he's like, well, so we when we went to get him, he was like, was fairly small. But I thought it was like a puppy, a puppy, right?
Yeah.
No, giant. So, but I thought that was big. He just kept getting bigger, and apparently the vet says he's not done. So he's like, I have a house. I have a horse in my house. He's like so big,
Jesus,
so big. Like if he bumps into you, you're like, oh,
right.
He's like it's like a rude passenger on the A train.
Yeah.
Very friendly though. Beautiful though.
Yeah. I love German Shepherd. One of my friends, my neighbors have a Great Dane. And the first time I met this dog, I was like running around the block. I didn't even know it existed. And it was just excited to see somebody and broke away from its owner. And like out of my periph, I just saw like all legs. Gangly fucking legs running toward me. And I just stopped because I was I was like, I'm gonna stop running. But he came up to me and I'm like, she's fucking gigantic, but he was like right here. And I was just like waiting for the guy to come back. And I'm like, do you want me to ride him back to you or want to come to me? I don't know what you want.
The most proud thing I have is that when he meets someone new, he does not jump up. I hate when dogs jump up.
Me too.
I don't like
that shit
because it's not nice for anyone involved.
No, I know, man.
What if you're wearing a new shirt from Coco Paris or whatever in Red Bank? It's like if I say it enough times, will they let me in?
Yeah, we're sending them all this shit. I love that you brought it back to Coco Paris.
Got it. Well, I'm trying to get free stuff.
Yeah.
So,
or at least smell some of the shoes.
Well, I'm not against it. If they let me in there with like a prepaid Visa card, I would be very happy. Polite as well.
We're gonna have to send him something from Coco Paris now. We're just gonna be like, this is part of the guest
like
thing.
Like a napkin.
Yeah.
What do they have, pens?
Whatever they spray on the shoe, can you just wipe that on this on this Pete and Eldest t-shirt that he got, and just
I want you to just grab me some of the nuts on the floor from Pete and Eldest. Hey, you guys like peanuts? Well, we got some on the floor. Do they still do that where like the floor is covered with peanuts?
Yes, absolutely. That's fucking hysterical. No one's gonna know what that is.
Yeah, there's just peanuts on the floor.
Absolutely. Oh, fucking random as shit. We would go to this one place in New York, and it was supposed to be like an old Westy type, bar, whatever the theme was, but they just left sawdust on the bottom of the floor, and eventually by the end of it you'd be like
yeah.
Like as you're like inhaling food, I'm like, this can't be good for anybody. Why would they have this?
It's weird.
It's a little too weird.
They have like those restaurants where the staff is mean to you. I don't like that.
Me neither. It's fucking shitty.
I got relatives for this.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we're trying to make it feel like you're at home. I'm like, I got out of my home.
Yeah.
Specifically
that abuse.
Yeah. Do you remember a place in Tom's River? I think it's called Shut Up and Eat.
No.
Oh yeah. It was like they would be rude to you there.
Really?
You would walk in and they would go, hey, like they would say hello to you.
Yeah.
But they would do it in a way that was like, fuck, I don't want to fucking deal with this. But if you wore your pajamas, you got like 50% off or some shit.
Really?
Yeah, which is great. But also,
I like that.
I don't think some people understood that you're not supposed to just come in your pajamas. Like you should just wear clean. But like you would tell people we're rolling in like, like just got out of it. I was like, can we not sit next to them? Or?
Just got out of jail.
Yeah. Like,
I'm here.
Taking this theme thing a little too far. Holy shit. We're trying to fucking eat here. God damn. Yeah, man. Well, I just want to thank you for coming on because I feel like I kept you for a while, but this has been a blast, dude. It's been a fucking awesome time.
Thank you. Yeah.
I want to ask you questions that we ask every guest, so brace yourself.
Here we go.
If you go back in time, talk to your younger self, what advice would you give yourself today that would help you?
Oh, I'd be like, don't pick up the cigarettes. Leave them alone.
All right. Nice.
I don't smoke now, but it was real not nasty quitting.
Yeah. I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a few friends had to quit, and some of them, everything. Patches tried, gum they've tried, which I didn't realize that you get addicted to the gum. And one of my friends got addicted to the gum.
Yeah. There's people still put patches on your face.
Yeah. The other question is, what had to end in your life, good or bad, for you to wind up where you are today?
So many things. Go ahead. It's probably funerals.
Ever been to court?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yes.
I love that.
I mean, tons of stuff. Like, I mean, for me, I don't know, so much stuff. I mean, where do I start?
Pick one and go from there.
I mean, let me see. Well, I had to leave the town I grew up in, my parents' house. Like you had to leave the nest.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Been divorced. What else? Bands like break up.
Bands divorced.
Fired a bunch of times.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm in the firing thing.
Ugh.
It's always better to quit when you're about to be fired, which I feel like is what I've done for the most part. Because I could say I've never been fired from a place, but it was close.
You could sense it.
It was close. You're like, I gotta get the fuck out of here now.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you left, like, do you have that feeling of like, because I feel like we all have it, where we're like leave our hometown kind of a thing, especially when you're trying to break into this fucking weird business that you're in. But do you feel like it was good that I did it, but you understand why, like, you still have the nostalgia for it?
I don't have any nostalgia for it.
No, not at all. No. Not for Red Bank.
No, well, no, because that was like when I was really young. And
really? Okay.
Yeah, but even that, not maybe a little then, because like
you're a kid, yeah,
I mean, like a little kid. So there's that, and like my grandmother was alive then, and like
right,
not now. So like that kind of thing, but not like definitely not high school. I don't feel any.
No, high school fucking sucks.
Nostalgia for high school.
No, I
have
like the kid nostalgia for stuff where you're like, oh yeah, man, when I was little, like I like the neighborhood and all that other shit. But you can't imagine.
Yeah, I'm having we're going through this real like strange like thing of the youth, the music that we would listen to when we were kids. My wife and I were listening to a lot of like really, really, like the New Kids on the Block thing, or like like Debbie Gibson's come up, or
dude,
like,
Debbie Gibson was fucking shit. That was great. She was awesome.
Belinda Carlisle.
Oh my god, I feel like we were separated.
Bangles,
Belinda Carlisle, Susanna Hoffs.
Yeah. It was like, it's just, I don't know why. It's like this thing that's happening currently, and I'm like processing. It's probably some kind of COVID disaster.
We had
looking for my youth. He's lost in the woods. He's got nothing but a pocket knife.
It's weird, man. We had another musician on, Lane Montgomery, who we were talking about the resurgence of that kind of shit, because I have like extreme nostalgia for 90s music too. Like Third Eye Blind's coming back. They're on tour. I went to see, before the pandemic hit, I went to see Hootie and the Blowfish and Bare Naked Ladies at Madison Square Garden. Wow. And they fucking crushed, dude.
I can't believe that they can fill Madison Square Garden.
I didn't think they were going to be able to either, but they did. They fucking filled Madison Square Garden.
Like
and the crazy thing was,
fill Madison Square Garden by himself.
Yeah.
He's a hugely famous country person. I saw him on a bus in Nashville, like just by himself. I was like, this guy's really famous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy, dude. And the weirdest thing was, I wound up in the VIP section accidentally. Trust me, it wasn't like a thing.
I stumbled in.
Daiquiri. I just made the dude in the security laugh, because there was a woman who wouldn't shut up during the concert, and I said either I gotta get a different seat, or she's gonna wind up having better seats than me, because I'm gonna toss her onto the floor of the stadium. And he just started cracking up, and he's like, go sit in the VIP. But I was sitting next to Mike Mills.
To the VIP,
and he was there. Yeah. And Mike Mills was there. And then
from REM?
Yeah, from REM. And he went on. And then I wound up seeing him later, because I was doing Sirius Radio. Yeah. And then I was in Mike Mills, and I was like, this is so weird. I got to say something to him. He could give a fuck less that I saw him at the con. But I was like, dude, and he was like, that's nice, laughing boy, relax. We're not close. And I was like,
didn't you play the piano on Night Swimming? I think he did, though, which is the crazy thing.
Yeah, he absolutely did. I wish I had said that.
I would have played that. Hey, did you play piano? I don't know what it like piano. like it sounds like Freddy Krueger Nightmare, like piano. Night Swimming.
We're gonna get people commenting like, I don't think Brian knows how to piano play.
I certainly do, like a marionette.
Oh my god. But yeah, all that shit's coming back, man. The only thing that I have I love the Counting Crows, which I feel like I'm alone in that. I don't know why.
I love the Counting Crows.
Awesome. I'm so glad, because I'll tell people that, and they're like, that's nice, good for you. But like, again, like everybody seems to, like, from that, like from our youth, I feel like is having this resurgence. They came out with a new album. They were just crazy, critically, but like critically, like people loved it, because the last couple that I got, for some reason, they just went under the radar, like nobody gave a shit. This one though, Buttersweet Miracle, I think fucking crushed it.
What's
but all these guys,
thing though? Like,
I don't understand that either. I'm not really sure. I was wondering the same thing, and I feel like he's probably talked about it, but I missed it. But I don't know what it is. But every song, it's a whole story. So the whole album, if you listen to it from beginning to end, it all connects, which is
like
fucking
The Wall.
Awesome. Yeah.
Oof, I have a tough time with stories.
It's okay, but you can listen to them. But you can listen to them individually, and it's fine. But if you actually like wind up going through it, you're like, oh, cool. There's a whole thing, but they're fine individually too.
Okay.
Yeah, it was cool. But yeah, all those bands are coming back, and I have no like. I'm like, that's great, because I'm feeling it.
That's cool.
Weird. And the other question is, if you were in a real dystopia, how would you want to go out? Would you want to fight an alien, zombies, volcano, bunker? What would be your thing? How would you want to go?
Quick. Just send this gone, like vapor, like
vaporized.
Something quick, like a laser beam, disappear, like molecules instantly. I don't want to be dealing with any preemptives. Don't give me a spoiler. I don't want to know how I'm going. I don't want to see it coming. You know,
you don't want 3.5 minutes of free fall.
No, I want to be hit by a meteor, like
on
a Tuesday on the way to the bank or something. It's like walking down the street. That's enough for you, and then that's it.
I'm glad you mentioned the meteor thing, because I was reading something the other day. I don't know why we're reading horrible shit, because we're already in a horrible situation. But apparently, there's no protocol for telling it. Like, they wouldn't tell us if a meteor was coming, because they feel like the public wouldn't handle it well. So we will never know. They're never going to be like, hey, heads up, you got till Tuesday. They're just gonna let it fucking happen, and then that's it.
Lovely of them.
Yeah, right.
But it's 2022. We haven't invented like a laser beam yet to shoot meteors for this reason. Like of all the, I mean, how long do they? What has the Earth been around? Like a week or something? Like, they don't have like laser guns. Like they, right? Like not meteor. Like,
right.
Like there's not like meteor watch. I mean, like in ancient like. Like wherever you want to say, ancient, wherever they all
the Mayans would have seen it coming.
The Mayans,
they probably fucking did.
The Philistines, they all had it. Like a tower. Like I'm a watchman.
Yeah,
and I stand watch. And sometimes we do shifts. They don't have the the planet watch.
Nothing, but they do. They do. They'll know. Like they love telling us near misses. They'll be like, "That was fucking close." That they never have like, if it did get closer, we're gonna do this. We're basically we have the watchtower. You remember Robin Hood Men in Tights blinking?
No, I didn't see that. I thought you meant. I thought you were talking about the Jehovah's Witness man.
That's what I thought he was talking about too. To tell you the truth.
Yeah.
No.
Weird. I was like, "Where's this going?"
No.
Watchtower.
Last 5 minutes of the thing, I'm like, guys, if I just bring out this pamphlet real quick. No.
The thing about birthdays and Christmas, they suck.
Wait, that's real?
No.
Oh my!
Speaking of Night Divine, let me tell you
I'm
about the
turn
night
you
of...
on to something fresh. Oh my goodness!
Do you like antibiotics? Because we don't.
Really?
No, yeah. Apparently,
wow.
We don't like antibiotics. Yeah.
Do you know what I binged randomly when recently?
Amoxicillin?
Yes. The Scientology documentary. And I was like, this is an interesting group.
It's crazy.
Well, what's her name?
When she gets hit by a laser beam, we're going to know where that came from. Tom Cruise's house.
Oh, yeah. It's Leah Remini.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how she
King
gets away
of
with
Queens? I don't think so. Laser beam.
Fuck you, Kevin James. Yeah, exactly.
I think the only one that would be on meteor duty would be Elon Musk at this point, right? He's creating all the rockets.
He's not doing shit. He's sending his car into space.
Sleeping on the job, right?
Yeah, fucking Amber Heard apparently or some shit.
Yeah, it could be on the watch, the wall watch, the watch of the white walkers or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We need Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Watching the wall.
You got to see Robin Hood Men in Tights, by the way. It's a great Mel Brooks movie. I'm like circling back. I'm like, guys, hold up.
No, seriously, Men in Tights.
Yeah, Robin Hood.
You need to see it.
Don't just Google Men in Tights. He's like, I don't know. John Poveromo told me to watch Men in Tights. Sorry, honey. It's either this or I'm going to go sniff shoes. I don't know what to tell you.
It's a living.
Dude, thank you so much. Did you another Flintstones reference?
I don't know. I figured it's something old to say.
I love it. Oh my god, it was a blast, man. I hope you had fun. Thanks so much for doing it, dude.
Thank you very much. I don't know why I just said we, because it's just me in here. I feel like I'm like Venom. We don't love you, Spider-Man.
We need to eat.
Yeah. I'm stuck in here.
Meanwhile, he's showing us there's just screws and bags, but he's got a duffel bag full of heads that he hasn't eaten yet.
Yeah. These are souls. Oh man, you guys are good. Good time. I love it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is a blast, dude.
For having me on. This is fun. I think I'll tell them what it reposted or whatever they do.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, we'd love to have come back whenever you want, dude. Because we love having people back on, and you're a fucking blast to talk to.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool, man. And whenever you're in the area performing live, we're gonna get out there, man.
Oh, yeah.
I
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yep.
Thanks so much.
Maybe we'll all get to Coco Perry.
Yes.
I am cutting this up. Every time you mention it, I'm just gonna put it out there.
We should do that should be the advertisement. Coco Perry.
Yeah.
Coco Perry.
Sponsor our show.
Do all kinds of different clips of it, and then sponsors our show, 10% discount. that would have to be that we'd pay 10%.
Right.
90% off, because
right.
Otherwise I can't afford it.
Yeah. They just need to let us walk or do a couple laps around the store like the senior citizens do in the mall. That's all we want.
Just a much shorter mall.
Yeah, the laps are real quick.
Yeah.
And
don't knock into anything Italian because it's expensive.
let Brian wear the shoes as masks. That's gonna be his,
like Bane, like with Louboutins.
Nice leather.
You got to show up in that wool jacket.
Yeah,
with the shoe for the Bane costume.
They have the bags of like that nice Italian leather, and if you rub up against it, it'll probably the wool coat will probably scrape it. Like made for the outdoors.
Brian now owns part of the store for the rest of it. He's paying it off. He's like, I can't.
They take PayPal credit, Affirm or whatever. Gotta make payments on that.
Cash App came out with a debit card, so you can get in on that real quick.
Matt Damon did an ad for cryptocurrency.
Did he really?
Bitcoin. Matt Damon, yeah.
Holy shit!
I was like, I don't know.
No. Something's up. Something's wrong there.
Beat it, Goodwill Hunting. Beat it.
The guy from fucking Southie.
Yeah, you better rounders it out of here.
Was the ad for crypto like, it's not your fault? It's not your fault.
Yeah. I want to see his new movie. His new The Last Duel.
Oh, that
really
was a piece of shit.
I don't like
real fucking bad.
Yeah, not into it.
No. I was surprised. Like, he usually pumps out some good shit, and that was like a 100% clunker.
Yeah, he did that one and like some other one like called like the Wall or the Great Wall.
I didn't see that.
Really bad. Really. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. That's why he's interviewing his buddy for Entertainment Weekly. It's like, I need a job,
and that's why he's doing Bitcoin commercial.
Gotta get paid.
You know what you gotta see before we keep bringing shit up. You gotta see Tender Bar if you haven't seen it. That's a good movie with Ben Affleck.
Okay.
And some other people. That's a great fucking film.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's a good one, man. George Clooney directed it.
Cool.
None of them coming on, but anyway, it's great.
George Clooney will be on next week. I could say it. You don't say it. I'll say it.
We have to say, we're just gonna post that on there too. We're just gonna blame everything on you.
George Clooney be on next week with Matt Damon,
live from Lake Como.
Dystopia tonight. Live from Coco Perry.
Oh my god, I love it, dude.
Thanks again, man.
Yeah, thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
Take care.
Good.
Have a great one. Man.
Dystopia tonight.